Hey everybody, Ricers here, and today we're going to be talking about One Piece manga chapter 1029 titled The Tower. Let's get right into it. Alright, so this week for the cover page we've got Bonnie in a soba eating contest with some otters. Now, she's keeping pace even though they have 6 otters on their team, so good for her. She's doing well. Always great to see Bonnie. It's been a while since we last saw her in the canon story. It was back at Reverie. She was posing as Connie from the Sorbet Kingdom, worrying about Kuma and whatnot, so very interesting. I hope we get to see her soon, start uncovering some of those mysteries. She's been a character for a while that's been always surrounded in this, like, she's got this importance to her, you know, Blackbeard, Akainu, like, all these big characters have been interacting with her and, like, care about something to do with, like, her power, something she knows, so interesting to see where it goes. Hopefully she'll come into the story sometime soon. We can start getting some answers now into the meat and potatoes of this chapter. We start off right where we left off with the sword shattering over Sanji. Now, Queen is in the midst of fighting one of the top guys from Luffy's crew, right? And same thing for Sanji. Both these guys are fighting top commanders. This is important. They're in the heat of battle. But they're both just kind of living in their own world here. Like, Queen's sword shatters. Now, normally, you're fighting your opponent, and something like that happens. You're like, oh shit, gotta change my thing. All that happens is Queen just gets excited. I love this mad scientist personality that's really starting to show in this fight. He's just getting excited. He's like, oh, I know what that is. Judge used to talk about that. You can have a super reinforced exoskeleton, insane regeneration, super strong physical strength, but most importantly, a cold, unfeeling heart of ice. Now, last chapter, I feel like Sanji was kind of in denial. And the whole time, he was like, my body, oh, it feels weird. He knew what was going on. And now this chapter, you know, it's no longer that denial of, oh, what's going on? Now it's like the realization. He's coming to terms with it, and he's like, oh my gosh, wait. I'm going to turn into them, aren't I? And Chopper's sitting here, cute as all hell. I really want this chibi Chopper as a plushie. I need to find one. It's so cute. He's like, what the heck, son? I never seen anything like that in my life. He's talking like an old man, the little gimmick that Oda does with Chopper. So cute, as always. Now Sanji's like, oh no, I can't turn out like my siblings. So he fucking dips. He bolts. He just starts running. Like I was saying, you know, these are two commanders of the armies, right? Like top members of the forces, right? You know, both top 5, potentially top 3 on each side of the fighting forces. High-level guys from both armies. And Sanji just runs away. It is so funny. He does not care about the fight in front of him. He's like, nuh-uh, wait, gotta figure out what's going on here. Gotta stop this. I can't turn out like them. No, I don't want to. Nope, can't happen. He's just running away. It's so funny. He's like, guys, I need time to, I need to process this. I can't handle it. And the Peace Pirates, they're just like looking and they're like, oh my god, that's Sanji. He's from the Straw Hat crew. Let's bag that bounty. Maybe Kaido will promote us or something. Give us some nice cash. Give us maybe a little mansion, you know, in the hillside, you know. Maybe backs up to a nice river, maybe a lake, you know. So they start shooting at him, and Sanji's like, ow, that hurts. But he's just casually tanking all of these bullet shots. Even Queen earlier in the chapter, he was like, I know you ain't using armament, hockey boy, you know. I would sense that. You're just casually doing this thing. And this only gets Queen more excited. He's like, yes, show me the battle suit. It's time. Let's go. He's firing lasers as Sanji's running away. He's like, let me see more of the Germa science. It's so good. It's so much fun. Now, Sanji's obviously just kind of running around rampant. I don't think he has an actual destination in mind. He's just freaking out because he's coming to grips with the fact that now he's going to maybe turn out like his siblings, though I have faith that he'll be able to keep his heart and his humanity. Now, I got to thinking, after, you know, rereading the chapter a few times, gathering, organizing my thoughts, Sanji and Zoro started off their fights with King and Queen by doing a double attack, right? Now, obviously Zoro and King are outside battling, you know, to the death, as they do. So if Sanji and Queen, because Sanji's kind of running around now, end up outside, what if we end the fights with the same way we started them, a double attack? It would be really cool to showcase the wings of the Pirate King. They start their fight together, they end it together, we could get a beautiful doubles page spread. I'd love to see that. Now, we cut away from this, go on up to the second floor where Big Mom is about to execute Kid. I mean, she's standing over him. She's kind of taunting. Oh, got a migraine, Kid. You know, we find out that he's kind of been dealing with headaches or something. We're not too sure what's going on at this point with that. Now, Law is standing here and he's like, Kid, can you do something, man? He literally he goes, Kid, you're literally useless. You are... It's so funny. I don't know if you guys know this meme or have heard it. People were calling Kid useless Captain Kid. They were giving him shit for not doing enough on the rooftop fight with Kaido and everything. And it's really funny because when I read this from Law, I was like, oh my gosh. If he had said useless Captain Kid, I would have lost my mind. I just thought that was really funny. If you know the meme, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Now, Law's like, alright, if Kid's not doing anything, I guess I gotta step in for him, right? He comes in, counter shock straight to Big Mom, slows her down, but Prometheus is just like, nah, son, get out of here. Stolen fire, bam. Now, if you remember back when Big Mom was on the roof with Kaido, she did a similar attack, but with a lightning bolt, while people were attacking Kaido. So this is very reminiscent to that, but obviously with fire. Now, this kind of got me thinking, I really like fire power, so I have a question for you guys. Would you choose the Mera Mera no Mi or the Goro Goro no Mi? Ace versus Enel, lightning versus fire. Which one would you pick if you could have one yourself? I would choose Mera Mera no Mi. I have a soft spot for fire. Like, I always love fire powers in anime and manga. It's so good. So I really liked seeing this attack because it's the fire version of that really awesome lightning bolt attack we saw on the rooftop. This is really cool. But let me know down below. Tell me what you think between those two devil fruits. Which would you choose? Should be pretty interesting. I'm a Mera Mera no Mi myself, but I would say, I mean, the Goro Goro no Mi is awesome as well. Not really a bad choice either way there. Now, Big Mom actually ends up changing up her attack. At the beginning, she was just standing there gonna attack, but she's like, nah, let me flex on y'all a little bit here. Fucking jumps up, flips into the air, and just comes crashing down. Now, when you guys first saw Big Mom, think way back to like the first few times we saw her, did you think she'd be jumping around doing flips like a trapeze artist? I certainly didn't. Look, I love Big Mom. She's great. However, she's got some size. She's got some girth to her, man. I did not think she'd be jumping around like this. The agility, the speed. It's wild. It's crazy to see Big Mom doing stuff like this, but I love it. It just goes to show that the Emperors are just... that's what they are. They're absolute. They're so fucking awesome. And Big Mom kind of standing over, Law's on the ground from the stolen fire. Kid is just completely destroyed right here. She puts on a big grin, like one of those big Monkey D. Luffy, Willa D. smiles. She's like, oh yeah, I got you good, didn't I? And Kid's sitting there, he's like, oh man, these fucking headaches. What is going on with me right now? Like, God, he's like, no, it's not a headache. It's different. It's something else. He's like, I finally am here. I'm fighting against the 4 emperors, but I'm gonna die here? I can't. My whole pirating career was based on this. Like, I cannot lose here. And Big Mom's just kind of like, oh, she's laughing at him, and she's like, I don't think I even need to attack you again. I think you're just gonna die right here, even if I stand by and do nothing. And I'm like, I mean, shit, you're kind of right. Like, he's fucked up. He's looking rough. It's a bad look for Kid, but luckily, Killer's about to step in and save his ass. So we head on up to the 3rd floor now, and we find out the source of all the migraines and headaches Kid has been dealing with. Hawkins is sitting here repeatedly, one after the other, just slamming his head into this wall. And it's a really sad scene to look at here, because all Killer is doing is just sitting here laughing. Now, it's so sad because, like Hawkins goes on to start teasing him about, he's like, this is a terrible fate for you. All you can do is sit by and laugh because of the smile fruit. You can't express your emotions. Like, this is horrible. Like, he's literally watching Hawkins interfere with his captain's dreams, and he knows he can't attack him because of the straw doll. All the damage is going to go to Kid. He can literally just sit here and watch Hawkins thwart everything. It's a horrible, horrible situation to have to witness, and all the Kid pirates are sitting here thinking the same thing. They're like, what's going on? Like, Killer, should we step in and fight? Like, do you need help? And Killer's like, no. And they're like, then why aren't you fighting? Do something. He's like, just have some faith in me, guys. Like, we have to do this right. If we mess anything up, we could end up getting Kid killed, and we cannot let that happen. And Killer shows his resolve. I got chills reading this. It reminds me of the way Luffy and Zoro are to one another. And he's just like, all right, Hawkins, look, release Kid. I will give you my life. You can kill me. Just release Kid. And Hawkins is like, no, fuck you. He starts stomping on his head. He's like, no. Who do you think you are to say that to me? What's Kid doing right now, huh? Fighting Big Mom? Fighting against the Emperors? Y'all set your sights too high. They've ruled the sea with an iron thumb for so long. For a reason. Their power can't be matched. They can't be beaten. Like, Hawkins is like pissed off right here. He's just like really heated. And Killer, he notices this. He's like, oh, this is a trigger point for him. Perfect. He's like, he's bowed down. He's kind of like hunched over from like getting hit. And he's like, oh, he's starting to like get up a little bit. He's like, oh, hey, calm down. Don't get so emotional. Just because you happen to make a regretful decision in your life. And Hawkins doesn't like this. Killer's like, you were afraid of this future because you thought you would be dead in our shoes. But look at us now. We aren't dead. We're succeeding. And you regret what you chose. And Hawkins just unsheathes his sword. He's like, no, you're not going to talk to me like that, boy. Talking about regrets, huh? Make you regret not doing shit to me. I'm going to chop off your head here. And Killer's like, calm. He knows what's going on. He uncovered the solution. He's got it. He big brained. He's 10 moves ahead. It's Queen's Gambit. He's chess moving this bitch. So he's like, all right, hey, before I die, let me ask you a couple questions. So what happens if you take damage without a proper conduit? And Hawkins is kind of confused by this when he's like, fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you know how my power works. Like, it goes straight to Kid. Any damage I take, and then as he's talking, a speed blitz. Killer captures his arm. This is so impressive from Killer. Like, I can't even begin to describe this speed feat here. I was shook when I read this for the first time. Because Hawkins, he's stanced up. Like, he's holding the sword in his hand. Like, he's not off guard at all. And Killer's able to just cleanly do this. I mean, like, I'll give Hawkins a little bit of credit here. You know, he doesn't think Killer's going to make any moves because he knows that his deep care for his captain, but this is still so impressive. Killer looks like an absolute stud this entire chapter. Now, Hawkins is freaking out. He's like, what? My arm? What? It should have gone to... Oh, no. And this is when Killer kind of cuts him off here as Hawkins realizes it. He's like, what you talking about, baby? Kid's got no left arm. That damage is all you. And then he's like, all right. One more question before we're done here. You see, this arm of yours I cut off, there's this little straw doll in here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this belongs to Kid, right? So, how many dolls you got protecting your life left? And Hawkins like, well, you see, actually, and in his head, he's like, fuck, that's my last one. Oh no, this was not part of the plan. He's like, you know what, we're fine. Pulls out the death card. He's like, oh, the death apparition, the giant straw guy that we saw at the beginning of Wano. Luffy and Zoro were dealing with it. It comes in, and Killer's just kind of like, oh, that's cute. Fucking beheading claws. Chops his head off. So easy, so clean. Killer's just, he's not even worried here. He's not even sweating. He's already won. Like I said, he's 10 moves ahead. All of this, not a problem for him. He knows he's got it. And Hawkins is like, nah, it's fine. The straw man's not going to perish. Let me just draw one more card. Uh-oh. Come to find out, he pulls the tower. Now, somewhere up here, I'm going to post a little picture of the tower. You know, we'll see what I decide where it goes in editing. So I'll just move my hands around a little bit so it ends up somewhere here. Now, the tower is really cool. If you look at the card itself, it's got a nice tower, as the name suggests. A lightning bolt is striking it, 2 people jumping from it, and a little crown falling off. And I'm going to talk about this more in a little bit at the end of the chapter, where we get some Oda boxes telling us the significance of the tower. Now, as he's kind of stunned looking at this card he pulled, we have Killer Spinning Sonic, the final blow, ending Hawkins. Hawkins falls to the ground. The cards lay out. We see the tower there, and we get the Oda boxes talking about the tower. So Oda took the interpretation of the tower, and I did some research, and this seems to be the same as everything else it says. Now, it's the collapse of the old and brittle, but the hidden meaning is that, yes, some things are collapsing and falling away, being destroyed, but it leads to a new way further. Now, basically, the idea here is that it's aggressive, sudden change, but it's ultimately for the good. Like if you were looking at it yourself, it's like, okay, let's say I drew it, right? You're cutting away things from your life that, maybe you had attachment to or whatever, and losing them is hard and turbulent, but it makes way for new positive things to take fold. And it's a great, great metaphor for the situation we have here, especially with the tower, right? So we have the two people jumping from the tower, right? Kaido and Big Mom, the crown, Orochi, the false kingdom that he's created in Wano, right? And then the lightning bolt and the destruction, the lightning bolt itself being just the rebellion forces, Luffy and everyone, and then all the destruction just being, the outcomes of the battle and all the death and destruction that came along with it. And now Killer's just sitting here at the end, just proud of what he did. He's like, damn, kind of impressed myself. Shit, he doesn't say this, but, if I was Killer, I'd be like, well, fuck, that went better than expected. I really outplayed this guy. Hell yeah. And Kid's just standing there, just stanced up ready, like an entire weight has been lifted off his shoulders. He's back in fighting form. What'd you say to me, Big Mom? What was that? I'm gonna die. You're going down now. I'm in tip-top shape. I'm ready to go. And Killer's like, all right, partner, get going. Such a beautiful way to end this chapter, and such a great chapter of One Piece this week, guys. I absolutely loved it, and I hope you guys did too. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's chapter. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, leave some comments below talking about some of your thoughts on this week's chapter, and make sure to subscribe for more anime and manga content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.